On today's fight breakdown, we have two guys that get into a fight in a gym, and it's not hard to figure out who wins.
What you gonna do? Huh? Don't disrespect me like that, bro. Don't disrespect me like that. Don't disrespect me in that shit. You're the fucking bitch. You wait for them to come? You wait for them to stay outside. Let's stay outside. What's up, nigga? What's up? What's up, bitch? What's up? What's up, motherfucker? What? That bitch? What you gonna do, nigga?
Now, me personally, I have one mount escape that I like to use anytime I'm dealing with somebody that is clearly bigger and stronger than me. I have been using it for years. It's extremely effective for me. I understand that there are countless mount escapes out there. This is just one that I use time and time again, and it seems to work out pretty well. So I'm gonna show it to you. Before we get there, I wanna touch upon a couple points for what you should be doing, or at least looking to do anytime you are dealing with somebody that is bigger and stronger than you in a grappling environment. For starters, and this is a big one, if you know that you can't physically move this person, don't try to. Instead, focus on trying to move your own body. So if we're talking about a mount escape in particular, if you know that you can't bench this person off of you, if you're having a difficult time pushing them off side to side or trying to hip bump them, find a way to move yourself from underneath them. Try to turn your hips a little bit. Try to shrimp out a little bit. Try to create an angle, right? If I'm able to create any sort of angle, that allows me a better position where I can now use my entire body. And that leads me to the next point. Use your entire body against one limb. So if I'm trying to escape mount, rather than me trying to push and put pressure on both hips, I'm gonna put all my focus onto one hip. I'm gonna use my entire body's pressure onto one hip. I don't care how big this person is. If I'm using my entire body against your one leg, I'm going to win that battle every single time. But in order to get there, you have to create angles. I have to get behind your armpit or behind your shoulder, your elbow, behind your knees, behind your hips, to where, again, my body and the big size difference isn't really going to matter at that point. Now, one way that you can do this is utilizing proper framing. This is something that you need to get good at in all grappling environments. Framing allows you to create pressure. It'll also allow you to create space. Space allows you to work. Space allows you to get those angles. Good frames make it difficult, even against bigger people, for them to close that distance, because again, you're not muscling them at that point. I have to just take muscle out of the picture. If I'm dealing with somebody that's bigger than me, I know I'm not going to win head on. But if I'm able to create a strong frame where I lock out my shoulder, I lock out my elbow, I get a completely straight arm where my entire body is behind that arm, it's going to be very difficult for anybody that's bigger than you to be able to deal with that frame and close the distance. That gives you time to create that space. That allows you to move your body underneath them, and that allows you ultimately to get to those angles. And again, once we get to those angles, then we can start working. Now, because we're talking about a self-defense type situation, you need to look to apply damage as often as you possibly can. But again, don't sacrifice damage for position. If you're in a good position and you're holding your own and you got good frames and you've worked to an angle, don't sacrifice that just to hit a punch, because again, they're bigger than you. It's going to take a lot of power for you to really do some damage. But if we just focus on chipping away at them, little strikes here and there, maybe to the same spot over and over again, that's going to add up over time. And the more that we can apply damage, not only are you going to weaken them a little bit, but you're going to disrupt their balance. You're going to make it hard for them to apply pressure, and again, that works in your favor. And don't be afraid to fight dirty. We're talking street fight, we're talking survival, we're talking about dealing with somebody that is a hell of a lot bigger than you. Do what you got to do. Grab the groin, jab their eyes, pull their hair, rip on their ear, whatever you need to do to get a reaction, to get them to move, to get them to shift their weight. Again, take advantage of that, get to those angles, get to the better positioning, and we start working from there. But we're talking street fights. Do what you got to do to survive. So all that being said, let me show you this mount escape. The escape that I like to use, the way I like to recompose, is I like to focus and isolate on this leg here. And essentially the way that I'm going to do this, we'll talk about the hands here in a minute, but what my feet are going to do is my near side leg is going to extend. And I want to get this leg as flat as possible. My hips are going to also kind of turn to that side a little bit, because even if he's smothered me up top here, I might not be able to move my upper body, but I do have the mobility to move my hips. So I want to make sure that I extend this leg, turn my hip a little bit. I'm going to take my outside leg, and I'm looking to come over and just trap his foot. And what I want to do is pull his foot up and over my leg. Now, one thing that you can do if you're kind of struggling to do this is, as I get some form of traction on my heel, my bottom leg is going to scissor through. And the moment I have this foot trapped, I'm immediately going to pinch it between my legs. Now the motion that we're gonna do with our feet, if he jumps off for a quick second, the motion that we're gonna do with our feet once we do have it pinched is I want you to think of doing like a U. I'm gonna pinch, extend my legs, I'm gonna turn into my opponent, partner, attacker, whatever, and I'm gonna bring my knees back up to my chest. So again, I trap, I extend, I turn, and I bring my knees up. Now if they have my upper body smothered, I am able to do this just by using my hips. So if my back stays flat, I trap, I pinch, I extend, I turn, and I bring my hips up. What this is doing is it loads myself underneath their hips a little bit, which allows me to start recomposing. So if Jose jumps back on here, right, I got his foot trapped. Again, he still smothered me. Now this isn't something that we do nice and slow. I have to extend, turn, bring my knees up right away, and then from here you're going to start kind of getting different reactions from this person. If they just start falling over, which more times than not, if you're dealing with a bigger person, it's not always going to be the case, but if they do, I'm going to use that momentum to carry myself up, and ideally I want to circle all the way around to a side control position where we can do damage, get control, pop back up to our feet, whatever we need to do from there. Now the other reaction you might get is they kind of just hunker down a little bit. So like once you turn and you get here, they're not falling off to that hip, they're not pulling themselves up either, they're kind of just rock solid resisting. If this is the case where I don't have that momentum to go up, but I also don't want them to climb back up onto me, I'm immediately just going to start posting. Again, we're talking self-defense. I just want to start getting some space between me and this person, especially if they're bigger. I don't want to be able to just stop them with my arms. I need to use my legs as well. I'm just gonna start working myself back, get my knees in there. So now if he starts pressuring back into me, at least I have my legs in place. I can start throwing some kicks, creating some space, and we get back to like those ground tactical positions a little bit more. Now the last reaction that you typically get from this position is they use this far arm to start kind of pulling themselves back up, right? They start falling, they're gonna pull themselves back up. This is a little bit more of a technical sport approach to it, but you can still utilize this from a tactical perspective. I have this arm isolated. I can trap and lock down the shoulder. I can easily start kind of working and trapping this arm. Again, if we're talking again of the idea that I'm dealing with a bigger person, what I'm typically gonna wanna do is actually pass this arm over my head so that now I'm behind their armpit a little bit. I'm going to stiff arm with both hands if I need to. So now as he pushes back into me, I'm pushing him away. I can work my legs in a little bit and I can fully work back and I get back up to my feet from there. Now what are the hands doing from here, right? If he's smothering me, we've talked about like trapping and doing all this, I want to put pressure on the hip here because what I don't want to have happen is as I'm trying to do this, he just slides this leg up and then it completely disappears and I'm in trouble, right? So when he's back down in this mounted position, just posture for me for a minute, I want my hands on their hip bone. If I put my hands on their thigh, which you can start, I might start on the thigh and then work my way up to their hip bone a little bit. The problem is if I keep them on their thigh, this is a strong muscle, it's a bigger guy. If he really wants to go to a high mount from here and he just wants to bring that knee up, go ahead, it's gonna completely collapse my arms and I'm gonna be screwed. When I put it on the hip bone, which is again where all that momentum comes from, now if he tries to bring that knee up, it's a little bit more difficult for him to do so. So when they're smothering you like this, I need to work both hands across, right? And if they're smothering you, you will be able to get both hands across. I'm gonna post them on the hip. I'm gonna turn to the side as much as I can. He might try to flatten your shoulders out. He might just sit there and continue to squeeze you. Either way, I'm more focused on my hips turning. Now that I got my hands in place, now we go back to, again, trapping the foot. The moment we trap it, all in motion, I extend, turn, and I bring my knees up. If they fall over, they completely come up, we pass. If he kind of hunkers down, again, I start creating that space. I get those legs in there. And then last but not least, if he starts trying to pull himself up and I feel this arm trying to pull, I'm gonna work underneath it, pass it over my head, and again, I'm just gonna work and get back to my feet. The goal here is I'm not necessarily trying to reverse position, get to top. I'm just trying to get some space between me and him. He's a bigger guy. The reason I like this particular mount escape is because it's 100% technical. It doesn't require a lot of momentum. It's merely, I'm trapping that leg and I'm positioning myself in a manner that allows me to load my hips up underneath his, which allows me to start creating some space and ultimately allows me to get out of there safely. Now, as I said at the beginning, this is an escape that I personally have been using for years. I have found it to be extremely effective. I'm going to show you how well it works. As a matter of fact, I recently had a group of powerlifters come into my gym to train, and I asked all of them to hold me down and just keep me from moving, right? None of them had any experience, but they're all big guys. And if you understand powerlifting, you understand that these guys can put up some serious weight. And I don't care what you say, somebody that can bench 400, 500, 600 pounds, when they push down on you, you're not going anywhere. I hit the same exact escape on every single one of them without any problem.
All right, let's get it in. Let's go in. And he's
Come on, big boy.
Cheers.
Hold them down.
Bodybuilder.
Dude, I fucking feel it in your thighs, bro. And that plant. Oh,
Yep.
man. All right, go ahead.
Here we go, Gotti. Stay. Oh. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're grappling. You good. Here we go. Oh yeah. Here we go, pony. Oh yeah, pony.
So there you have it. Again, when you're dealing with bigger people, you just have to be smart about it. You have to work on moving your body and positioning your body in a manner that eliminates the ability for them to use muscle against you. So this is one escape that I have found to be effective for me. I understand that there are countless other escapes out there. I recommend that you get out there, you try them, you train them, you find what works best for you. We'll see you on the next breakdown. Stay safe.